You can tell a lot about people how they react when they are under pressure. Ilhan Omar is constantly asked questions in the halls of Congress, but she typically responds with a quip or a sneer or some type of passive aggressive smirk and moves along. But as of late, as we have begun to see that Ilhan Omar is being investigated pretty aggressively by the federal government, and that the federal government has enumerated multiple crimes that she's committed, she's become a little more tense.
Congresswoman Omar, the last time I spoke to you, you said that I was stupid for asking you about your financial disclosure, but there's some discrepancies on there. Would you like to explain that? How did you make such a big mistake on it?
Absolutely, you're stupid for asking me anything.
I am?
Yes.
Well, what about the American people who are wondering how you made such a big
I have
mistake?
explained to the American people.
What's the explanation?
I have given them the explanation.
Do you want to tell our viewers? Because
I don't want to tell you jack shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is the face of somebody who isn't having a great. She's not having a great time right there. That is not the face of somebody who is confident. That's the face of somebody who has to listen to President Trump do what I think is the single funniest impression of Ilhan Omar he's ever done. I can't believe that anybody would think that this isn't the single funniest 10 seconds that Trump's ever had on stage.
And then she comes here from Somalia and she tells us how to run the United States of America. She says the Constitution gives me certain rights, And I demand that I be given these rights. Get the hell out. What a phony. And then she married a brother to come in. I don't know, you're not. But I think, I would imagine they're looking at her. I have nothing to do with it. I would imagine. Of course I have nothing to do. I have nothing, but I believe she married her brother, which is totally illegal. Although it's a lovely couple, actually, but it's a little bit on the illegal side. Darling, I love you very much. Good night, brother. Let's go to bed.
Okay. Trump is all-time bet. The reason why Ilhan Omar is responding differently now is she's under an enormous amount of pressure. People are now starting to look into not only the Somali fraud that she authored into law, the Feeding Our Futures scam that's arrested hundreds now of Somalis for defrauding the American government. But with that continued focus on the Somalis and the fraud ecosystem, she's losing a lot of power. A lot of her friends are going to jail, and she may be the next one because Ilhan Omar committed fraud. She claimed to be worth nearly $30 million, and now she's claiming she's worth $0 and saying that it was an accounting error. Well, she got asked in the halls of Congress about this accounting error, and Ilhan Omar, much like how she locks all of her comments on X, so you're not allowed to comment on anything that she posts on X, had very little to say to the reporter, Ilhan Omar, constantly robing herself in the Constitution unless it comes to the First Amendment. A Fox News reporter caught up with Ilhan Omar, and you're going to love this. Here we go.
Net worth dropped on the new forms, the new financial disclosure forms. Could you tell us if your husband still has the consulting business and the wine business? I remember you were saying it was an accounting error before, but the new forms are even lower in terms of the net worth. Does he still have those companies, the business, consulting business and the wine business? Anything you can say on that, Congresswoman?
Ilhan Omar's disclosures erased millions, leaving her with potential negative net worth. She won't explain why. I don't know how many times we're going to have to learn this lesson. That there are certain people that are not here to make America better. They are here to make America far worse. This is our most viral investigation probably that we've ever done, with 5 million views, 40,000 reposts, and 100,000 likes. Into Ilhan Omar's fake winery. But that's just like the needle in the haystack. There are so many different vectors for investigating Ilhan Omar's fraudulence, and it's like high time that DOJ just goes out and does it, right? It's time for DHS of who Tom Homan is a proud representative of, to come in over the top and just do something already. Here's what Tom Homan said about Ilhan Omar and the investigations into Ilhan Omar. To me, we were on stage at a turning point of that.
I sat down with the vice president. And he was talking about fraud. He just finished up his first roundtable meeting about fraud and how to attack it with the entire department, with all the department heads. It was very impressive. Of course, everybody's in favor of this. And I asked about the Somali daycare fraud. And he just straight up jumped right in and said, Stephen Miller's upstairs, and he has proof that Ilhan Omar lied on her immigration forms. We have that paperwork. We know she did this. And now we're looking for how to take action. Can you fill us in? Do you know what's going to happen? Is the Trump administration going to go there? The floor is yours.
The whole file is being reviewed. A lot of smart people are on it. Stay tuned.
Could you color for us what of the elucidated and many crimes there are that it could be? Because
I cannot get ahead.
There's like a lot of potential things that could have been there.
I can't get ahead of the investigation, but I know that some of this. I know people that are involved in the review, and they're really smart people, and it's in good hands.
All right. It's in good hands. Okay, we got the Allstate endorsement from Tom Homan, and
I'll just follow it up that J.D. Vance has also told me that Ilhan Omar has committed immigration fraud. So, well, Donald Trump has his own hilarious way.
Isn't she despicable? I can't stand watching her.
While Donald Trump has his own way of talking about Ilhan Omar, please, I'm just begging the DOJ, make it stick. Okay, make it stick this time. The American public wants to see it. And here's what JD told me. We're trying to build the case. We're trying to do as best as we can to build the case here. Please arrest Ilhan Omar. Talk about Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz.
Exactly.
And obviously, Ilhan Omar, the president and the White House have been out saying that she married her brother, that there is immigration fraud going on here. These are deportable denaturalization offenses. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, so we actually think that Ilhan Omar definitely committed immigration fraud against the United States of America. And I talked to Stephen Miller about this actually recently. We're trying to look at what the remedies are. That's the thing that we're trying to figure out is what are the legal remedies now that we know that she's committed immigration fraud? How do you go after her? How do you investigate her? How do you actually do the thing? How do you build the case necessary to get some justice for the American people? There's a related issue, Benny, which is she has been at the center of a lot of the worst fraudsters in the Somalian community. So do I know that Ilhan Omar was aware that the Quality Leering Center was defrauding the American people? I'm not certain of it, but we at least need to investigate it, because if people can commit wrongdoing without even the fear that they're going to be found out, that's a fundamental problem. So I'm worried about the immigration fraud. I'm also worried about what did Ilhan Omar know about what was happening in the Somali community, and why was nobody looking into it until, frankly, Donald Trump came along?